Thank you so very much, and thanks for coming out. What a beautiful. It is Monday, I hope, isn't it? I think it is Monday. What a beautiful Monday morning. We had a great day for landing yesterday. Thanks for ordering up the fantastic weather out here, because from what I hear, the weather in Florida was absolutely horrible yesterday. So from the folks at Mission Control, they said the decision was not a hard one to make. I'm just going to briefly introduce the crew. I'm going to just give you a few thoughts of my own, and I'm going to turn it over to Eric Bowe, who's the pilot, whose home is kind of here at Edwards Air Force Base, and I think he's going to relay maybe a story about landing to you. All the way to my left, Dr. Don Pettit. He was the load master on the flight. You know, I consider Don Pettit the chief of the space shuttle. Whatever Don said, I listened to. He was a great friend and a mentor, and just a tremendous asset to this flight. Next to him, Shane Kimbrough, Lieutenant Colonel in the Army. Shane did a couple of the spacewalks, and he helped us on the flight deck. Plus, he was the master of robotics. He worked the space station robotic arm. He worked the space shuttle robotic arm. He was basically our all-around utility player. Steve Bowen. Steve Bowen's a Navy submariner captain, captain in the Navy. He did 3 of our spacewalks, led the last one. I failed to mention this was Shane's first flight, and he did a wonderful job, as did our other former space rookie, Steve Bowen, did an incredible job in 3 spacewalks, and he was a mission specialist number 2, so he helped us on the flight deck. I previously introduced Eric Bowe, the pilot. Again, his first space flight, and he's a colonel in the Air Force and no stranger to Edwards Air Force Base. And then all the way over to the right, Heidi Piper. She's our lead spacewalker. She ran the middeck and made everything happen, right down to landing. So, and one crew member who is still recovering from the effect of gravity is Greg Chamitoff. Greg spent 6 months on orbit. He was a fantastic addition to our crew that was trying to hitch a ride back to Earth. We picked him up on the space station, and we got him back safely. And we delivered Sandra Magnus, who's up there, who was filling the big shoes of Greg Chamitoff in getting some of the payloads that we delivered up there up and running. And she was extremely busy in the short period of time that we were there. You know, this was kind of billed as a home improvement mission, if you would. We worked on the outside of the space station to try to get the solar joints running. We worked on the inside of the space station to deliver and activate the payloads, which included, which you may have heard about, the water processor, the urine-to-water system, and that was Don Pettit's forte. So it was a wonderful mission. I'm glad that you were all here welcoming us with open arms when we came back yesterday, and I'd like to introduce Eric Bowe to you.
I'll try to give you my impressions from all of us as we were coming back on the flight deck. We first did the deorbit burn, and you're basically on the other side of the world when you do the deorbit burn. And one of the first impressions, and a lot of this is kind of snapshots because it happens kind of quickly, so there's just things that you remember along the way. One of the first memories that I had was as we're coming in at around Mach 22, we're a lot lower in the atmosphere than we were on orbit, and as you get closer to the ground, it's kind of like the difference when you're in an airplane flying high. A lot of people always ask, how fast are you going? Well, up high, you really can't see it as much, but as you get closer to the ground, obviously speed starts picking up. And one of the big impressions is watching the clouds moving a lot faster. I remember talking to Fergie, and we were saying, wow, it's a lot closer and a lot more personal now as you're getting closer into the ground. And then as we got closer, around, Fergie pointed out, it was through his window looking at the Catalina Islands as we came across. And I remember looking down and seeing it was around Mach 7 or so. And just the sense of speed and thinking about, you know, obviously with Edwards, the X-15 was a big part, and it was obviously a big part of what made the shuttle fly. And it was very cool to be sitting there looking at it going, this is kind of like one of those runs that they made back in the 60s in the X-15, making it happen. And it was very cool to see that part coming across into we had a big, what we call a heading alignment cone, where there's a big circle where we kind of come in and spin around that we did for an energy. We actually did this thing called an energy maneuvered away to kind of dump some altitude, and that was very impressive to watch that as we come around. And then we got onto this heading alignment cone. Normally it's around 180 to 270, but yesterday it was around 340 degrees. And obviously we had weather like we have today, which is truly beautiful. And we could see from the Catalina Islands, we could see Edwards, you know, field in sight from all the way from that distance. So it's really impressive. You're going Mach 7, looking out the window, and you can see your landing site a long ways away. So beautiful, beautiful day. Another beautiful day out here. And then landing itself, just coming down onto 04. You know, a lot of shuttles end up landing on 2C, so it was kind of a neat experience. And also landing on the inside runway. that the temporary runway is a truly exciting thing. Anyway, we really appreciate you all coming out today. We're really honored to get the chance to land here at Edwards. And for me, as Air Force, I went through test pilot school here at Edwards Air Force Base. It's good to kind of come back home and kind of see everything all over again. And thank you very much for coming out. And Berg, do you have any other words? Thanks again.